Right. Is the Black Lives Matter talk overwhelming you? Are you feeling it? Are you in a groove? Where are you at? Or are you exhausted from it? Or are you like, this is exactly what needs to be happened? Or do you think it's overkill from like so many white people are trying to speak out, but yet you don't feel like it's sincere?
That's the
One of those answers I gave you, I feel. I'm not gonna
I'm gonna see which
tell
one
you
you
which
pick.
one. I'm not gonna tell you which one.
I think I have a feeling.
One of those answers I feel strongly about. But go ahead. I'll see what
Yeah,
you have to say.
man. For me, man, honestly, I feel like I don't. I love talking about it every day because you have. I wouldn't even call him a young son, but a young boy, a big kid, big black kid, and I have two young sons and a daughter that we're about to send out into this world. And I think, unfortunately, it took this series of events with everybody being at home, Amy Cooper right on top of Ahmaud, right on top of George Floyd, for people to be like, yo, because I really do
And
think
don't even forget Breonna Taylor, which they tried to sweep under the rug.
they still trying to sweep Breonna under the rug. So it's like, I think it took this series of events, and then the young man that got killed at the Wendy's in Atlanta Friday. So
we can go on and on and on and on and on.
yeah, so we don't have that kind of time. We don't have that much bandwidth on the internet to go through that.
Right.
So no, this has to be talked about. And I feel like if you don't talk about it, it'll be like, sitting at the dinner table with your parents and they think about getting a divorce and you guys are talking about somebody raking the leaves on Sunday. Like, it's like you can't, it's the five elephants in the room. So you got to discuss. Now, where's your head on this?
Well, up until that point, I am with you that like I'm shutting people down. I mean, obviously, like that conversation comes up, and you better, like, before I would allow, if it was a different opinion than me, I would allow, because you have to respect opinion. But now all of this shit is no longer an opinion. It's people just saying stupid shit, and I got a problem. It's probably the biggest problem I have with politics. It's not dumb people in politics. Most of the time, people that's in politics are smart. But what they do is they dumb themselves up to narrow their mind to be able to fit their narrow-minded perspective.
Right.
And that, I hate when smart people dumb themselves up to fit bullshit in my life. Now, when dumb people say dumb shit, you dumb. I get it. Like, I can let that go. But like when smart people are like, oh no, Kaepernick the protesting, why are you running and shit like that? It's just like, yo, dog, don't say dumb shit to me if you don't want to hear an opinion. And so I feel like, I'm tired of, like, white people and shit can speak out, but my number one thing, until you are giving Black people powerful positions where they can affect change from within, we're gonna be treading water. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Black people need to be in powerful positions, just for the very fact that if you have a Black person or anybody of color on your team, you can look at them for some sort of consultation before you do something stupid.
Yeah.
Like, just a Black person be like, don't do that.
Yes, exactly.
Don't do that, man.
Yeah, exactly, dude. It's that simple. There was like, we did this story like 3 years ago. Maybe it was two. It was whenever Black Panthers out, probably 2 years ago, and I think it was J. Crew. I don't want to mess the clothing store up, but they had models that had T-shirts on, like super white, blonde hair, blue eyed models that had Wakanda Forever over it, and there were a bunch of like companies that had had a black kid that said the craziest monkey in the jungle or something, wearing that on the website for a T-shirt.
Right.
And do I think that they absolutely were like, we want that smoke? No, I don't think that anybody wants, but I think if there had been one person of color in the room, they could have saved themselves that headache, because you would have been like, hey, excuse me, that shirt?
Right.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I can see that's just me in every meeting.
Yeah.
this is what to your point, but this is what I was saying about where some when I somebody was having a conversation with me about where we started spiraling. And when I mean somebody, the voice in my head. And it's like, yo, when did we started spiraling? But when Obama was president, and then they started saying, we need to take back our country. I'm just
Yeah.
like, look, man, but it's about our civil liberties. If you have 400 years of the same dude, and then you get one dude that looks different than him, and then you start saying, we need to take back our country, how the fuck you think that's gonna play to us? And when you do shit like that so in your face, it just says, yo, we don't give a shit about you. We don't give a shit about your beliefs. Like we can say that this is under the guise of civil liberties, but to the people that they want to come across to is take back the country, they look at it as no more black people being president.
Yeah, and you went out and you go and look at who they went out and elected. He started his campaign with the birther stuff that you're not from here. He followed that up with insulting the Mexican judge and build a wall and lock her up and all those kinds of things that really resonated with that base. And
Yep.
that playbook has been there for a while because there's always been that thing of like, oh, you're sending dog whistles. But I think that base is like, we don't want dog whistles. We want you to say it. Say he's a Muslim. Say he's a terrorist.
Say it,
Say
right.
it. And Trump was the first person to be like, yeah, they're
I
fine
got you.
people. They're fine people. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, do you want to backtrack on what you just said? No, I'm good.
Nope.
And
There's five people,
honestly,
and there was 5 people in the Michigan militia,
yep.
and then the Black Lives Matter. You loot, we shoot.
Yeah, thugs. So
Why not say there's fine people marching? Why not say have that same energy? Look, I know there's people shooting and looting, but there's a lot of fine people out there doing peaceful protests. Why not say that?
yeah, I went to 2 protests and they were overwhelmingly peaceful. I didn't see any kind of anything out there, and I was downtown at the Capitol. And it's sad, but it's just like there's a lot of parts of this country that don't like any kind of change. And I think even before, they saw the Obama thing happen and they were like, okay, we're cool with this. But here comes now a woman. So now we were staring at possibly 16 years without seeing a white man in that position. And quite frankly, it scared them to death. And Hillary, say what you want about her, she was one of the most qualified candidates that's ever been.
I've gone on record, to say I didn't want Hillary at first, but then when it came down to it, there was no question who I was voting for. But also, if Hillary ran tomorrow, she get my vote. And I said this problem, she is the most qualified person we've ever had. When you think about what it takes and what you require to be the president of the United States, she is the most qualified. She lived in the White House for 8 years, so she has to know some shit that's going on. She put her time in the Senate. She's been in politics and in law her whole life. She's just a woman.
Secretary of State, everything. And the person she was running against admitted to sexual assault on camera, and it didn't matter. It showed you that no matter what people said, no matter what was said in the debates, no matter what happened, she was not going to get elected, even though she won by 3 million votes. So this is something that we all have to confront and be real about it. And I would really, some of them do speak openly. Some people are like, yeah, I don't want to look at a black first family. And it's like, you might not like hearing that, but I do appreciate the honesty. Like, let's stop with let's just, I didn't like his tan suit. Like, let's not do that. Let's talk. I'd rather you be overt about whatever you're feeling, because we can either agree to have a discourse of some sort. I doubt I'll change your mind. I doubt I'd be interested in engaging in that discourse. But at least I won't walk away thinking like, oh, I have an ally in that person. I'll be like, well, no, that's the person that we've got to defeat at the ballot box. So I'd rather, I do kind of appreciate when just somebody goes on Facebook and all lives matter and all protesters are thugs. And I'm like, good, I appreciate that. Now I know who you are.
Yep, exactly right.